Here is a step-by-step guide to apply for an immigrant visa at an embassy or consulate abroad. Hi, my name is Giselle Rodriguez, and I am an immigration attorney. I am happy to share some valuable information with you. If you find my videos useful, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the bell icon if you'd like to be informed of any new videos. In this video, I outline the 12 steps of the immigrant visa process for applying for permanent residence in the U.S. I cover how to apply for an immigrant visa from abroad, what to submit to the National Visa Center, prepare for your interview, and what happens after your immigrant visa interview abroad. Step 1. Submit a petition with USCIS. To apply for an immigrant visa at an embassy or consulate abroad, you must first have an approved USCIS petition, such as the I-130, the I-140, and so on. When completing your petition, it's important to accurately indicate if you're applying for adjustment of status or through an embassy or consulate abroad, and the application will actually have a section where you can write in the location of that embassy or consulate. Failing to indicate whether you want consular processing or adjustment of status will complicate things, because if you do not choose consular processing, the USCIS will not forward your case to the National Visa Center. If this mistake happens, you'll have to submit another type of form to USCIS to correct the mistake, and this can delay the case and you can incur an additional charges. So make sure that you choose the correct box right from the very beginning. Step 2. National Visa Center processing. Once USCIS approves your petition, your case will then be processed by the National Visa Center, which will assign you a case number and will advise you of all this information through either an email or a welcome letter. Keep in mind that because of staffing issues stemming from the COVID-19 pandemic, the time between USCIS approval and NVC notification can take some time. If your priority date is current according to the visa bulletin, you can start submitting your fees and documentation on the National Visa Center portal. If not, you'll still be notified of a case number, but you will have to wait until your visa number becomes current in order to begin the process of submitting any documents. You have 1 year from the time the National Visa Center lets you know about submitting the fees and uploading the documents. Otherwise, failure to act within that 1 year period will result in termination of your case by the National Visa Center. Step 3. Pay the fees. Once you receive the notification from the National Visa Center, generally the first step is to pay the processing fees. Depending on your type of case, you may have to pay both the immigrant fee and the Affidavit of Support fee. To pay for your fees, you have to log in to the CIEC portal, and you should have your bank account number and routing number readily available. Credit cards and checks are not accepted. And also, it may take up to a week for the portal to show from in process to paid. Once the portal is updated to paid, you can then proceed to upload all the required documentation. Step 4. The Affidavit of Support. After you pay your fees, you will be allowed to upload the Affidavit of Support into the portal, if required. This document proves that the sponsor has enough assets or income to support your immigrant petition. If an affidavit of support is not required, you can just skip to the next step. Step 5, financial documents. Keep in mind this step is only required if you have to submit the affidavit of support. If you are required to submit an affidavit of support, make sure that the sponsor provides you with information about his taxes, pay stubs, income verification, or information about assets. You must also submit documentation of your sponsor's legal status, such as their green card, passport, birth certificate, or naturalization certificate. Step 6. DS-260 Immigrant Visa Application. You can only start the DS-260 application once the fees are marked as paid. There is no need to download and print the application, since all of this can be done electronically. For the interview, you do not need to bring the full application, but you must bring the confirmation letter that you completed it. However, I always recommend to bring the full application, since you can always refer back to it. Step 7, civil documents. After completing the DS-260 application, you and any family members immigrating with you have to submit the required civil documents. The National Visa Center website has a very detailed description of what documents to submit and their issuing authorities. It's important that you collect all these documents in advance if you plan to go through consular processing, It's also very important to know that some documents may expire, such as police certificates, but other documents like birth certificates or marriage certificates, most often than not, will not expire. Step 8, scan the documents. Do not mail any documents to the National Visa Center unless explicitly instructed. Instead, scan and save each document to the computer and later upload them on the CIAC website. Step 9, submit the documents. After you upload the documents, the National Visa Center will let you know if any document is missing or incorrect, and they will notify you so that you can re-upload any required documents. After reviewing your submissions and confirming that all the fees and documents are complete, the National Visa Center will let you know, and then they will later coordinate with the embassy or consulate to schedule you in for an interview. Step 10, prepare for the interview. Once you are scheduled in for your interview, make sure to arrange your medical exam with an approved doctor. You can find a list of approved doctors in the Department of State website. Once you go to your medical exam, the doctor may either electronically send the medical exam results to the embassy or consulate, or will give you an envelope with the same. That envelope you would bring with you to the interview. Before the interview, you have to make sure that you have all of the originals that you initially uploaded on the CIAC website. You should bring all originals to the interview along with any passport-style photos if required. I also generally advise my clients to also bring the I-864 Affidavit of Support if required, simply because an officer may ask for it. Also, don't forget to bring your medical exam if they did not send it directly to the embassy or consulate. Step 11, attending the interview. Here's what you should bring with you to the interview: the embassy appointment confirmation letter, your passport, which must be valid for at least 6 months, any required passport photos, the DS-260 confirmation page, and all original documents that were previously submitted. Step 12, after the interview. If your immigrant visa is approved, you will receive an I-551 stamp in your passport that is generally valid for 6 months. This allows you 6 months to move to the US and enter as a green card holder for the first time. Before you travel, you must pay the USCIS immigrant fee for you and any travelers that will accompany you to the US as green card holders. Instructions on how to pay this fee will be provided to you. Once you enter the US, you will receive your green card via mail to the address listed in the DS-260 that was previously submitted. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful. If so, please consider subscribing to my channel by clicking the bell icon, and this way you get updated on more content like this. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to reach out to us in the comments or in the contact details in the description.